Hi, welcome to all. Today we are going to see another interesting topic, Docker Compose. Okay, so before that, let me share that what is how we are going to implement this. Okay, where exactly this Docker context is used. So first of all, I have, as you know, that the way we have created on normal applications. Here, I have used Docker Compose. Okay, so Docker Compose. Generally, you can have a multiple services on a single YAML file, which will be used for local development purpose. Okay, so let me, I have, this is basically a web application with a MongoDB as a backend. Okay, so I have created two services. Let me explain that. Okay, so let me explain that. So this is, I have given version as 3.9, and here two services is there. So one is a web service and the other one is a MongoDB services. So what is web services having is, okay, so this is, it has a build which is given as dot. That means the Docker file wherever is there, so the Docker compose file is there in the same location. So it will pick up the Docker file and it will build it. Okay. Okay, so that's the option for build. Now ports is, so generally the container will be here listening 3000 port. So if you look at that, so the container will be listening 3000 port, so that we are going to listen it on from outside world, we are going to use 8080. Okay, so that's the thing. And the next thing is connection string. As I have used that, MongoDB is a general command, and I'm going to create one more thing, which is a MongoDB. Instead of localhost, I have given like this MongoDB, and then port is 27017, and the database name is admin. Okay, this is depends on MongoDB. Okay, so here this is depending on the another service. Okay, now this is a MongoDB with the another service which I have created. So I have given the container name as DB container. Okay, so here you can give service name MongoDB, or you can give the container name as well, not a problem. Okay, so next thing is image. I have given Mongo latest, and restart policy is always, so whenever you have to restart. Volume is it's okay. Next we'll go to ports and then we'll come to volume. So ports, generally the MongoDB will be listening on 27017. So to externally we take it to the connections. The other containers will use this to connect this container is 27017. So I have given like this. Volumes is nothing but so whatever you are doing, right? Whenever the container is stopped, still we need to access the database. So for that reason, so generally MongoDB will store all the values in /data/db, so that we are backing up in Mongo -db. Okay, so finally I'm creating the one empty volumes. Okay, so that's the overall explanation is this. Okay, so let me up and run this one. Let's go ahead. Okay, so so here I'm going to create two containers in a local development. One is web and the other one is a MongoDB. So let's create that Docker Compose. Okay, so it is creating. So now I'm able to, so okay, it's created. Now let me go here. Okay, so the application is up. So I'm doing that. So data successfully. Okay, so this is since backup is there already, which is backup. So we have seen few. So let me tell you few. Okay, so let me. Okay, so maybe to do that. Update I have done. So maybe delete it. Okay, so that's the thing. So it is up and running. If you look at the logs, you can see that it has created. If you look at, we'll go here. You go here, containers. So you can see the user management. Okay, so user management, if you expand it, you can see web and DB container which is created. Both are running. Okay, so that's the thing. So let me down that. So if I start, then it will start. Okay. Okay, so now I have removed everything. Okay, so as you know that this Docker Compose is for generally local development. Okay, but now the same thing I wanted to do it in remote environment. So assume that AWS. So how to do that? So if I wanted to use Docker Compose, so the entire code base I need to take to um, remove that EC2 machine, and then if I give Docker Compose up, then everything will go smooth. But is it really needed? Because it's a tedious process, right? From taking your local code to entire EC2, which is not a right practice. So what is the other way is that? So there comes the Docker context. So let me go and create the AWS machine, and we'll see that. So let me pause the video until the AWS instance is up. Recording progress. Okay, so now I have set up a EC2 instance. Okay, now let us connect to that machine. So here to use the context, the prerequisite is the both machines. So from where the machine you are going to create context, and wherever you are going to apply the context, both machines should have a Docker machine. Docker version should be installed. So let me go into that. Let us install this Docker. As you know that I have already installed in my local. So I'm creating in the in only EC2 machine. Stop that. Creating user mode. So I'm creating EC2 user in a Docker group. Okay, and let us create that. So okay, so my Docker service is now active and running. Okay, fine. So let us so the my Docker services started running. Okay, now if I just want to see Docker info. So generally, if you wanted to, if you reboot that, then you don't have to every time reboot sudo. But here we didn't reboot it, so we have to give every time sudo in front of that. If we give reboot, then next time onwards you don't have to give it. Okay, so I have given that, so all are good. So now what I'm going to create is, this is the IP machine. I need to connect it. So okay, let us uh, take this IP address. Okay, I'm going to use this .ssh config. Okay, I'm going to use this. Save. I have created. So now I'm going to use this as well. IP address I'm just changing here based on my. So remote also you can change it on your convenient thing, like EC2 machine or Docker Compose purpose, anything you want to do, you can save that. Okay, so now I'm going to create Docker context create. I'm going to create in my local. Okay, so in my the local, I'm going to say Docker info this, which is already installed. Okay, so now I'm going to give that wherever my project directory is there. So I'm going to here use it. Clear. Okay, now I'm going to, so context and created. Okay, so I'm having this one Docker context less. It is that. Okay, remote. That's the Docker. So you can see here remote is the context name. So it is the remote. If you can see here. Okay, so but let us see that. Docker, which is already created. Docker contact remove remote. Okay, now let us see. Okay, now it is not that, so I'm going to create it again because the IP address is changed. Okay, so successfully created. Now if you go here, Docker context, okay, so it is that. Okay, so now I'm going to apply this remote. So this is nothing but, so this remote I'm going to use here. So Docker compose and then context is the syntax, and remote is nothing but this remote machine. If your context name is something different, you have to update it here. Hyphen detached mode. So I'm going to give here paste. Sorry. Okay, now yes. It started running. So first it started with the MongoDB because it depends on will run first. Okay. So next thing is a web build. So here we are applying from our local to EC2 machine. Let me go here and see. Before that, this get applied. Docker Docker container sudo. Let me add sudo. Okay, so you don't see any container as of now. So it will take quite a few seconds because it has to transfer everything. Probably it will take another 1 or 2 minutes max. So if this is a Docker context is not there, if you wanted to Docker compose up, if you have a multiple services running, then you have to take the entire code base. Is the another option, but that is not a right option because it is you don't have to take all the source codes into the EC2 missions because it is unnecessarily. We don't have to have that. So this is the best possible way uh, as far as I know. So you have to wait for another few seconds and let's see. So let us transfer the contact. Let me pause the video. Once this is okay, okay, fine. It's transferred everything. So another one more command. So let okay, this also will take another 20-30 seconds. It's okay. So let me pause the video till it gets up. Okay, so when all it completed all the commands, I mean that means whatever is built which is given in the Docker files, everything got built. So now it will start to exporting image. So we are almost completed. Okay, so it's done. Everything is done. So now we'll see that. Yes, just we pushed it. Okay, so now we'll try to access this um, application with the IP address. Okay, so my IP address here is this one. Okay, so as this is a fresh installment, sorry, fresh deployment, so nothing is there. Create first record one. So data added successfully. So I'm going to read it. Safety record one is there. Okay, so this is done. Now we are up. So that's it. So we are able to push it from here. Sorry, we are able to push from our local container to that's okay. So you can see here now what is exactly done. So network management is created, volume is created, container DB is created, and then container user management hyphen web. What are the things which are created? Okay. So now, so let us see here. Okay, see now you can see here, right? So this is the thing. So whatever we created those images, sorry, those two containers, it is coming over here. You can see just about a minute. So this is 8080, which is listening 3000, and 2701017 is listening this container. Okay. So those two containers you can able to see here. Okay, so that's the overall session. So we just created the EC2 instance and we just installed the Docker. So to use Docker context, the very first deployment I have shown in local. So the Docker already installed in my local. Uh, where you are going to apply the context, so that machine also should have a Docker installed. So there is some version dependencies there, so it should be more than 19 or something is there. Okay, so that's the uh, dependency is there. But if you use the latest, then definitely it will work. So that's the thing. Your local and wherever the context you are going to apply that machine both should have a Docker install. So that is the only dependency. So I first I showed that local deployment, and then I have created a EC2 instance. There I have just installed the Docker only, and then I went back to my local machine, and then I have created a context, and uh, uh, I have given Docker Composer, and then I'm coming back to my EC2 machine and showing those two containers, and I'm able to access the application. So that's the overall thing we did. If any questions or anything, you just post it in the comment or anything. If you have any questions, you just ask me. Okay. So thanks for joining.